Good evening, everyone, and hello. This is your barefoot country cook in my kitchen. Make sure you've got your shoes off. You're probably wondering what I'm doing with marshmallows, right? Oh yeah, it's November. Yeah, it's kind of cold, gotten chilly. No, it's not for chocolate. No, and that's what we used to do. Put them for when we were kids. We used to put in hot chocolate. I have tried to really teach my kids growing up how to like things that don't sound like they'd be good or tasty by making certain dishes and helping them to realize that everything, although there is sugar in this, but it's not like a whole pie. The make them during the holidays just because I want to make sure the kids actually do eat something other than a bunch of sugar and definitely no sodas. We do the natural sodas typically for that when they were growing up. I'll show you how to do those at another time. They just would call this whenever I would, Mommy, are you going to make the green stuff with the marshmallows and the orange stuff with the oranges in it this year again? And I go, you guys like that stuff? Yeah, yes, that's awesome. I love it when kids are that expressive and they get that excited over some food. But this isn't something that I ever anticipated would be that big of a hit. I'm trying to adjust things so y'all can see me and see the ingredients as I put it together. Green stuff is basically, let me think, 1, 2, 3, three ingredients. And I think the other one's 3 ingredients too. 1, 2, yeah, 3. Yeah, they both have 3 ingredients. Figure that one out. I never even thought about it that way. So the green stuff, they're a type of ambrosia. The terminology of an ambrosia salad. There we go. A little bit better. I'll show it to you as it put together. But it's not ambrosia. Ambrosia's got a lot of different things. This is a skinnier version of an ambrosia. I'll call it that. Did you know that marshmallows are not, even though they taste awesome, there's no fat in them. And in 2/3 of a cup, it's only 90 calories. It's kind of like eating sugar air. I know that's pistachio magic because you use pistachio, jello pecans, and I don't know, some people call them pecans, but they're pecans to me, and grind them up a little bit smaller like this, but you don't have to. But it's just, and if you're intolerant of nuts or allergic to them, then you definitely don't want to do that. I don't know if these are real nuts in here. I never really looked. Let's see. I don't see a single real nut in here, even though it's called, oh wait, yeah, that's almonds and pecans, or I'm saying almonds and pistachio. It requires 3 ingredients. I'm sorry, it has 4. I just remembered it has 4 because the last time I made it, I didn't have the 4th ingredient. Still tasted good, but it was missing it. You need Cool Whip. It can be generic, it can be low fat, it can be no fat, just as long as it's a Cool Whip product, kind of. Doesn't have to be a brand name. And this is the big tub. Well, I'm using this for both dishes. So this will do for both. This has a, how big is this thing? It'll make it easy for you to find the on these. There goes the lid. Oh, there it is. It is 18 ounces. So you can get 2 8-ounce ones to do the 2 different dishes, but I'm just going to eyeball it in half. You need a half of this. Half, which is the 8. Now you could this, honestly, you probably, I'm going to try it one time, like chocolate pudding. So like for those of you who are allergic to nuts, try with chocolate pudding. It's just a pudding mix. It just happens to have pistachios in it. The only thing is I don't know how great chocolate would be with pineapple. Not sure that one. That might be kind of iffy. I don't know. I think. So I took a little bit. It becomes the liquid that helps the pudding turn into the pudding base for it. Now, what else goes into it? The pistachio pudding, 1 pack. This feeds, depending on who really likes it. It could be 4 to 6 servings. In my house, I had to make a double batch because both of my boys fell Thanksgiving and Christmas for it to get to, because it was kind of like a special occasion thing. I mean, I could make it anytime, but I didn't always. So that's your pistachio pudding. Then you need crushed pineapple. And you do not throw out the juice. You don't strain it. You put the whole thing. Now this has got a little more. This has it's like 10 ounces, I think is what I'm putting. But this is a whole cup. So I'm putting the whole cup in here. And because tidbits, so I had to put it in the blender to get it to be crushed pineapple. So that's about how much is in one of those cans, and about how much same as far as the juice goes. So you put that in there, and you're going to stir that up, the pudding mix and the pineapple and the cool the night before to let the pudding part set. You can't eat it like right away. Like, I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be as good as if you let the pudding do its thing. I mean, when you make pudding, you have to, let it get thick, thickened up. So you should do that with this. So you see, Cool Whip. And then we put in these. Now, how many marshmallows do you put in the green stuff? Or the green magic marshmallows? It typically 2 cups. Marshmallowy. That makes sense? So, okay. And there's basically 2 cups. I end up putting in 3 cups. I guess just because the least fattening of the bunch, or the less sugar content of it. They're just slightly sweet. They're just like amazing how they make marshmallows. Now, as you can see, I have 3 cups of marshmallows in mine. It's less for me to be tempted to snack on. Like this, there's very little left in this bag. This is a 10, and it's like you're eating nothing. And yet they're just like, sometimes they just hit the spot. Eat them in a while. I have disappearing marshmallows. Something you bake. And I'm going to have to make those one day. Make sure I remember how. That was another favorite the kids like. They could never figure out, where'd the marshmallow go, Mommy? It's like, where it went. You bake it and the marshmallow disappears. I know where it goes, but they didn't. So now we have our green marshmallow madness, or magic. And I'm going to be putting that in the refrigerator and let it sit. That's a good one. Ooh, I almost want to eat it now. But that was a no-no. Do you know any kids who like cottage cheese? I don't know too many kids who like cottage cheese. It's like as soon as you say cottage cheese, they go, ew. Cottage cheese, that sounds nasty. I'm not eating that. That's what my kids used to say. Till I came up with this recipe. I said the splits and stuff. I said that I could make up something that could mix them all together. And I thought, And they love mandarin oranges. I'm throwing some Cool Whip. They had no idea the first time that it was cottage cheese in there. And they were scarfing it down. And I was sitting there, you know how moms do when we make up a dish? They don't tell you, you tell them. You don't tell them until they're done. And then you just like I did, I went, so was that good? Did you like that? I'm like, yeah, it was awesome. Can we have some more? I said, sure. Like, do you know that stuff you said you don't like? And they're like, which one? Cottage cheese. They're like, yeah, that's what you're eating. They're like, no way. That's not cottage cheese, Mommy. That's not cottage cheese. That's what that is. So I just realized this is sugar-free gelatin. Is that okay? I've never made it with sugar-free. That'll be fine because everything else is going to make it sweet enough. Magic. This one's Mandarin Magic. 1 whole container. I mean, you can do it in half, but the container of cottage cheese. Now, there is a misnomer about milk fat in cottage cheese. It doesn't matter if it's 1%, 2%. So there's other stuff replacing it. Just get the 4%. You're not going to be eating it every day. Doesn't kill you. It's actually good to have some fat in your diet a little bit. Even me. And you put that whole thing of cottage cheese right in here. Right in here. They did not believe me. My kids did not believe that I made a cottage cheese till I would let them watch me make it. It's the only way I could get them convinced. I love cottage cheese. All day and twice on Sunday I eat that cottage cheese. And no doubt about it. Or it became actually kind of fun dishes. Like I didn't want to do certain dishes because it took too long, or I got tired of making the same stuff. And I said, I don't really want to make pie this year. So I did these substitutes and everybody was perfectly fine with it. Surprised me. I thought they were like, where's the pie? No, pouch of orange Jello. This happens to be sugar-free. I didn't know when I grabbed it off the shelf, but hey, trying to cut down sugar on this. That's fun. Mandarin oranges, 1 jar, or can, 15 ounces for this recipe. Drain the juice off. It's a light syrup. You don't need the extra syrup. This is going to be plenty. Put that in there. Okay. Not allowed to stick to the bottom of the can. That's right. They've all got to go in, right? Then the Cool Whip. Now this is 8 ounces, give or take. Now you can use the full 8 ounces or not. Depends on how much sweetness you kind of want to add to it. You don't need to put the whole thing in there. So what I do is I'll do half of it first, and I'll do a taste test. And then I'll put maybe some more or maybe not. It just depends on how the taste is. So this is half. Believe it or not, that's only half. Besides, I have some ice cream that could really use some Cool Whip on it. All right. And the chef is allowed to taste the product being made. Now this, it looks like a creamsicle, doesn't it? It looks like a big old creamsicle, orange and white. You just right into it the next day, and you get this glop of just Cool Whip with no orange taste to it. There you go. Look at that. So you stir this up like this. I wish you guys could be here to taste this. Just them to eat. And I said, oh no. When it comes to food, I don't play. I don't tell fibs about food. Now see, that's because of the moistness of this cottage cheese. I may not need to add another consistency-wise. You've got to figure that Jello. Oh, and plus I use the sugar-free Jello too. So that's at least a few hours ahead of time. You can get up in the morning early. Like I'm having to get up early in the morning to do Thanksgiving. Again, I got a 23-pound turkey to cook. That's going to take about 6.5 hours ish. Depends. Burger. So this is when you see if you need to add more Cool Whip. No. Sugar-free Jello works perfect because it will if you put too much of the Cool Whip in the orange one, because it's Jello and it's not pudding. The pudding one, the green, magic green stuff, it's okay. Oh God. I could sit here and eat this whole bowl without a problem. I really could. I've got a couple of jalapeno hot dog kind of thing waiting on me, but I want to eat this. They kind of feel like they are because of the sweetness level of them. So someone asks you, what's for dessert? You bring this out and they'll look at it, get them hooked. That's easy. It's that easy. Now, how do you like that? 2 side dishes basically are considered an ambrosia. Cut down on the cookies. Get the kids hooked on cottage cheese. This is a good way to do it. I happen to think this would be really good with even a pineapple Jello if they make such a thing. I don't know that they do. It'd be cool if they did. But for something quick that you can make the night before and not have to worry about that extra dish, having to make that pie crust. Or I know y'all buy home. You don't make homemade pie crust, do you? I do. Mm-hmm. And now it's getting real interesting because I'm making gluten-free ones. It's a little. I found some information on that recently. Actually, gluten-free dinner rolls. Gluten-free flour, xanthan gum. And you're going to go, oh, and yeast. And you go, what? Xanthan gum is what keeps the gluten-free flour together while it's, and it's not bad for you. I mean, xanthan gum is not a man-made thing. It's a real thing. So, there's your two. Everybody's like, oh, what's for dessert? I said, you having pie? Oh, no, I have something. What's that? Pink? It's orange. Orange and green. Pistachio. This Thanksgiving. I really do. And I would also hope that you reception they got at your meal. There is another one that is a standard kind of thing, and it's called a salad. I don't see the salad part in it because there's no lettuce in it. There is celery in it, though, come to think of it. And that's Waldorf salad. That's going to be the other item that's going to be for our table. So I try to put as many healthy things that aren't going to make you want to take a nap. It's bad enough there's tryptophan in the turkey, right? But something that's going to wake up your taste buds just a little bit to something new. And trying it on kids was great, especially when they still like it to this day and they're in their 30s. They fit it to their own kids. I doubt it because it was mom's recipe. Mom always made it. But, and they're not so bad for you. I mean, there's not a huge amount of sugar in these. There's just enough to get that sweet tooth happy enough to say, hey, can I have seconds? I use it as a dessert just because it's just sweet enough to be kind of a dessert. But they're technically, they're not an appetizer. They're technically a side dish. Miniature marshmallows, pistachio pudding, Cool Whip, can be generic Cool Whip, crushed pineapple. Boom, easy. Stir it up, throw it in the fridge the night before. Same thing with the mandarin orange and cottage cheese dish. I need to give these a name. Because we just always call it the green stuff and the orange stuff. And it kind of stuck, for the kids. But watching. And you want to name my two dishes for me. I would love that. And then whoever's the one that I pick for naming these, I'm going to send you a prize. And it's not food either. Something better than food. Something with that, because I have all kinds of embroidered designs I put on things. But I am asking you guys, and especially if you're a subscriber, name my imitation desserts. The orange stuff, give the orange stuff a name. Remember, ingredients, Cool Whip, mandarin oranges, cottage cheese, and a Jello mix. And then there's the green stuff, which is, what is it again? Pistachio pudding mix, marshmallows, Cool Whip, and crushed pineapple with the juice with the crushed pineapple. Name my two favorite holiday dishes that my kids absolutely go gaga over. My husband and his family happy with it. Green stuff. Name it. Helps you to come up with a name. Cool. But I need comments and I need ideas because I would love to give these a really nice, neat name. It doesn't even have to be a holiday name. Okay? Something to do with marshmallows and something to do with cottage cheese. But I wouldn't put cottage cheese in the name, but someone might not eat it because there's not too many people who like cottage cheese, but that doesn't taste like cottage cheese. You want that one done on here? Got a comment. If you want to see cottage cheese cheesecake, you gotta say cheesecake, cottage cheese, please. Comment that. I'll make it. I'll teach you how to make it. And that, because there's a lot of fat in a regular cheesecake, but we all love cheesecake, right? The cottage cheese one, the first time I made it, I couldn't tell the difference. I could tell it was lighter in taste a little bit, but other than that, it tasted just like a regular cheesecake. And I put strawberries on top the first time. Second time I did cherries. And then I did blueberries. And every single time it turned out really great. Around this barefoot country cook, she's got them in her closet. She's got them in her cookbook. She's got them in her little family cookbook. So here's the contest. The cooking contest is name the orange and green stuff. Give it a name. And the name that gets picked, that person is going to get a prize. And a nice one at that. I do prize giving this time of year. Every year. It's funny how so many people just don't believe that I'm real. That I do that. That's insulting. That's so sad. I do because I love to give people stuff. I'm one of those. Yeah, good stuff. Win a prize. And then you get to have that recipe so you can eat it yourself. I love them both. I'm looking at them both sitting here. It's like I have to hide them for them to make it to the dinner table on Thursday. This is only Tuesday. I try to get as much pre things done as possible before Thanksgiving because I go all out. I actually will probably better. I'm going to have red skin, Mom's turkey stuffing recipe. Yeah, it's different than anything you ever heard. I don't know too many people that know how to make my mom's stuffing, but I do because growing up. Do a little video for y'all, and that way all I got to do is pop it in the oven with the turkey the next morning. Sounds like a good idea. Hey, this very stuff for free. Help me to name my side dishes that can pass for a dessert, but they're not really dessert. They're easy, they're quick, and delicious at the same time. Now remember, you need to come over next time and take those bloody shoes off because it's always what in my kitchen? It is barefoot. It is. In my bare feet. I don't know why, but I do. I love you guys. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. But if you're smart, you'll come back again tomorrow because I can see me doing it. And one from Pennsylvania Dutch country because that's where I grew up. It was up in Pennsylvania area. And we had a thing called shoe fly pie. If you've never heard of it, you're in for a treat because that's what I'm making next. Shoe fly pie and turkey stuffing. It's going to be some good eating at this house. You should drop me a comment and see if you might want to come over. I always make too much. Yeah, I used to have my mom make food for like 9 people, and then it became more than 9 people. So there's always extra. I like feeding people. I should have a restaurant. I don't know if everybody likes country cooking. I don't know. Well, nobody. Those are quick and easy too. Believe it or not, they are. I'm getting ready to do those shortly. And the stuffing, or did. I think she still does. I don't know. But you're in for a treat this year because I am going hog wild and sharing some of the things that have become a family tradition in my family with my children as they were growing up. And now I get to do it with my new family, my new husband, and his folks. So give me a comment, name my dishes, get a prize, and have some good eating barefoot cook country style.